Hey guys, Justin and Tom here with a GameSpot news breakdown. Microsoft has finally come out with an official price drop for the Xbox One. It is now a $400 system. Now, we've been talking about this for months. The most important thing that Microsoft needed to do to be competitive with the PlayStation 4 was to officially drop the price. And they finally done that. I mean, they had to cut out Kinect. We're gonna have a Kinectless system, but it is now, when you go into stores, you see a $400 system, and I think that is huge, especially doing this before E3.
Yeah, I mean, it shows that they didn't do as well as they wanted with March and Titanfall, and that they're still kind of struggling, and that they need to gain ground somehow, though I do think you overstate the price a little bit, because in March we did see the bundle $450 with Titanfall, and it still didn't move systems. So even with that price drop, it didn't work that much, and it's like, so now, I mean, now it has to be more drastic, but they still have to actually compete and prove why you have to buy this system.
Well, I mean, saying it didn't move systems, it still sold systems.
Yeah.
And I think that
A couple.
You're underestimating the importance of walking into a store and seeing a $400 price point. I mean, with the bundle,
yeah.
To us, I mean, we're savvy consumers, and we know that with a game, and like this is essentially cheaper at $450. But it's not. You still see that $450 price point. Now it's $399. It's comparable to the PlayStation 4, and I think that's the most important thing they could have done. They've made this at a price parity point.
So one thing that they still have going against them is the PlayStation 4 is more powerful, and it's the same price. So that seems, because consumers, they still know about this. Still know the Xbox One doesn't do 1080p. They still know about all of this
but that's not true.
Stuff running around.
I mean, it
rarely does 1080p.
It can do 1080p, and I mean, the performance is negligible. Like, especially at this point, between the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, what they're able to put out in terms of processing, like, I don't think that's
everything is equal,
important.
do you think consumers are going to go towards the more powerful console or the less powerful console?
I mean, Xbox has lost the perception battle.
Yes,
and when people are putting out games, and they're like, when you can go into a store and like, well, which game is, when the guy selling a game can say like, well, this one's at 1080p and 60 frames per second, and the Xbox One is 900p. I mean, a consumer is not actually going to be able to tell the difference. But it's such an easy, quick talking point to have 1080p, 60 frames per second versus anything less than that.
But here's why I think this is actually unfortunate. I'm going to take the side that I'm sad about this. The Kinect differentiated it. Like, the Kinect was a cool piece of hardware that was way underutilized. And now it's an option that's kind of going to go the way of the Virtual Boy. Like, it's not going to be used. It's going to be like how the original Kinect sold, what, 5 million out of 70 million Xbox 360s out there. Like, it's not going to get utilized, and I'm kind of sad that Microsoft didn't justify the existence of that system as opposed to this, like, pulling it out completely.
In a way, this will force Microsoft and force developers to make a reason to get the Kinect.
Are they? Or are they just going to say, what if I don't make it? Like, we already know that Fantasia from Harmonix is in development, but how many new developers are going to say, I want to make a Kinect game knowing that I have to justify a $100 accessory for it?
Well, and that's where
the answer is 4 developers will do that.
That's where Microsoft can come in and go, we want to incentivize you even more. Like, we want to make sure that you're making some kind of experience for the Kinect.
Microsoft's going to keep pouring money on this lost cause? Like, that's what your philosophy is here?
But it's not a lost cause. I mean, you're also saying that there's nothing else that differentiates the Xbox One, and the interface is something that differentiates. I mean, in essence, there's not really anything that differentiates a PC from a PS4 from an Xbox One. They all play games, and in a lot of ways, they play very similar games. Yeah. But the platform that you experience them on is very different. The way that you have Twitch integration differs very greatly. Xbox One, having the ability to switch between different applications is for some people very important.
That stuff becomes a lot more difficult if you don't have to Kinect, by the way. It's not easy to use Skype, for instance, and it's not easy to do snapping if you don't have that. So, I mean, Microsoft is losing a lot of its identity with getting rid of the Kinect.
I don't think that they're sacrificing. I don't think they're sacrificing their identity to do this, but I think it's important that they finally gave consumers a choice. This is something they needed to do, and we've been telling them that they needed to do it for a while. I don't think that you've been on a pulpit saying, no, you should totally keep the Kinect and keep it at that price
I thought
point.
they should have gotten rid of it because I think it's insane to charge me $100 for something that's worthless in my eyes, but I would have rather they justified it than pulled it.
Well, we also had some other really big news from Microsoft today.
That really affects me.
And this one does affect you.
Personally.
Netflix, Hulu, all of those services that previously you had to be behind the Xbox Live Gold paywall to use are now free to everybody. And really, that's something that should have been in there from the beginning.
Yes, it was insane. And now they're giving away Xbox One's Game for Gold starting in June. You're going to get a free copy of Max and the Magic Marker, whatever the sequel was, and you're going to get another indie game that I can't remember. So you're getting
free stuff.
they're trying to chase after what Sony is doing, and I'm hoping that it does match up with the PlayStation Plus, because they have some work to do, because the gold was a way worse value for a long time.
And now this at least puts it at parity, in which that's something Microsoft needs to do. And getting to that same level, I mean, that makes things more interesting, because at some point someone has to step it up again. And whether that's going to be Sony or whether that's going to be Microsoft, that's pretty exciting. And I think that's the kind of thing that we'll see at E3. Like, who's going to take it to the next level? Who's going to give you a massage when you buy your PlayStation 4? Like, you just have a guy that comes in?
I don't want that. I don't want that. So yeah, so we have a price parity, we have online parity, and now it's all about the games.
And E3 is going to be all about the games. We're not going to be talking about this price drop in about a month when we're at E3. We're going to be talking about what games did they show on the stage. And that's really exciting, that Microsoft has so much confidence in what they're going to have to show. They're like, we're going to get this price drop out of there. This is an E3 level announcement. And they're basically saying, we're just going to drop this right now because E3 is all about the games. And that's kind of exciting.
I know. I am really excited to see what they have. Platinum exclusive. You heard it here first.
Well, we'll be talking a lot more about this Xbox One price drop and news leading up to E3 right here on GameSpot.com.